The week, and everything now is about getting into game week preparation. I thought our players had very good focus, and we needed the heat. About 84 degrees out there, sunny, humid as well, so we needed to get into the humidity. We needed to sweat a little bit. And the other thing is being able to catch footballs in the sun, particularly catching punts and kickoffs. So that was good to get that work in today, and we'll build up a little more tomorrow as we get into more game week. But I thought our players have been focused so far, and that's the thing is you come down here, you enjoy your team camaraderie, you enjoy being together as a football team, but also you have to invest in your preparation, you have to invest in victory, you have to invest in your hydration, and it's about getting back into a focus that you've had for 12 weeks, and then you take a break, and then you practice, and then you take a break, and you get back again. So again, it's relying on your habits that's formed over the year, and just starting fast and demanding those habits come back immediately. So I'll answer any questions.
Coach, have there been any position experiments through the bowl period that you guys have taken a look at?
No, not really. Pretty much the same. We'll look more into that in spring football, but for the most part, the only one was Jason Kroom, and that's kind of a decision that we made with him a while back. But those are invaluable repetitions and individual drills that he was able to gain through bowl preparation and even here today.
Was getting some guys back on the offensive line like Jay Sean, how are you guys running in terms of who's taking first team reps, that type of thing? We're more options now.
Well, it's not really first team reps and second team reps, it's just the amount of volume of repetition, so it's more the volume. And we rotate in, as we know we need that, and I think that's really helped us win football games this year, is having a number of individuals. I don't look at it as a starting 5, I look at it as a starting 7, starting 8, and individuals can play all different positions, and we needed that to help us win this year. So getting Jay Sean back, obviously the rest, really helped him. He looked fresh out there, and in the reps, really getting into a routine again back in Knoxville also helped him as well.
But you've been to a number of bowl games. Can you tell when the team is ready for a bowl game?
It gives you, maybe in terms of focus, and it gives you an idea that once the ball is kicked off, it's being able to manage the clock, being able to tackle the fundamentals. And if you look at the theme of just about every year, it's really a constant theme with the bowl season. It's all about tackling, playing in space, taking care of the football, and special teams. And you always know that as much video as you study on your opponent, they have time to create an inventory of plays that you haven't seen, from trick plays to different formations, something to gain a tactical advantage. So you have to have really a mindset of mentality, like a first game mentality of starting the season. But again, this football team has been focused so much, and I've challenged their maturity, we've challenged their leadership, and so far they've responded. I like where we're at, but we still have a long way to go in this week of preparation. And plus, you're playing the 13th ranked team in the country, and it's going to be a great challenge for us in all 3 phases of the game.
Butch, I remember when Urban Meyer was at Florida, he got so involved in special teams, he used to look for flaws in opponents' blocking schemes. Do you get that involved and detailed in your special team yourself?
Yes, I love special teams. I think special teams can be an advantage. Special teams controls field position, their momentum plays. And to me, that also tells you about the team concept and IRU, indisputable role understanding, and everybody really understanding their role on their football team and really buying into that role. And sometimes you may have a starting right guard on your kickoff return team, and he may only get 3, 4, 5 reps a game. But we talk about him being the best right guard in the country and taking pride in your work every day. So that's something, as we all know, we take great pride in here. Every coach runs a phase of special teams, and I think that also helps because they're competitive like our players. So they're competing to be the best special teams unit on the team. But I'm very involved with that.
Coach, being a Tampa guy, what kind of relationship do you have with anyone here at the University of Tampa that we hadn't talked about this point?
Well, this place has changed so much here being at the University of Tampa. When I was with the Bucks, starting in 1987, we held our training camp here. And so, same field, but obviously they've done a remarkable job with the facilities. Larry Marfis is the Director of Athletics here at the University of Tampa, and he was the Director of Athletics at Ferris State when I was coaching back there, I believe, in, gosh, I don't even remember, in the early 2000s. So it was great to see him, and they've done a great job of really opening up these first-class facilities for us. So there's a lot of memories here.
Butch, you said every coach basically has a special teams unit to head up. So how much, I guess, does that help, or can it potentially help when you are technically losing your special teams coordinator in terms of maintaining a seamless transition?
Right. Well, Mark's done a great job of, the overall organization of our special teams. But again, it does help in the transition in terms of every coach is responsible for a special team. Zach Azani runs the punt return. Steve Stripling runs the kickoff return. I run the punt team. Don Mahoney runs the field goal team. Willie Martinez, the field goal block team. And Mark Elder is responsible for the kickoff return unit. So when you have that obviously the transition should be very smooth.
How do you manage how much you do? Some teams scrimmage on the Vols side, scrimmage on Christmas Day. Josh Smith said that you guys were kind of light coming back into it. How do you manage the workload to be ready for a bowl game, to make sure you get enough and you're not doing too much?
Well, you just said the term manage, and every team is different from volume of repetitions to the elements that you're playing in, depth of your team, all that goes into it. But we always take the approach that when we break for the holidays, after going through bowl preparation on campus, we'd be ready to play a football game. And so we had all the game plans in all three phases installed, all the meetings, so if we had to play the game, we were ready at that particular time. Also, you have to get your health back, like we talked about with Jay Sean, but also developing your younger players. And it's a great time for them to scrimmage and be involved in the meetings and get those valuable repetitions. Now, a lot of our younger players still are playing right now, so we don't really have quite the luxury at every single position group. But every bowl preparation is different, but I thought we had a good focus, good bowl prep in Knoxville. And now, coming back here, starting game week, and you try to keep everything routine-oriented. So today is a Monday in the world of football. So we maybe did a little bit more than we normally do, but we have to have a fresh football team mentally and physically. So it is a balancing act, and you really have to balance it on what that particular team needs.
Take two more.
How has Devo made you guys a more physical offensive unit, and then how do you carry that into not only this week but the offseason?
Mike DeBoard has made us better in every facet of offensive football, from just our football IQ as an offensive unit to our physicality that you just spoke about, to everything. And you just look at, if you just look at productivity, number 2 rushing offense in the Southeastern Conference, I want to say we were 11th last year. I think we were 5th in scoring offense. We were 13th last year, I believe. So when you just look at the results, but it's a mindset, and really it's a tribute to our players. They've done a great job. They've done anything and everything that we've asked of them. Also, I think that's a byproduct of the strength and conditioning and in the weight room as well. And we will be challenged physically with a Northwestern football team that's from the Big Ten. We all know what the Big Ten brings about. And again, this is a top 15 defense in every category. So we're going to be challenged. And you look at the amount of upper echelon defenses that we faced, everything. We don't look at, like when you look at scoring offense and run efficiency and rush offense and pass offense, we don't look at stats, we look at relative stats. And if you look at the teams that we played this year, top 10, top 5 teams in rushing defense, we were 90 yards over what they were giving up. And that's all relative. And I think when you try to evaluate where you're at as a program, those are the things that you look at. We'll continue to look at more as when we get back to campus and I get into our off-season assessment of where we're at as a football program. But he's made us better, but really it's a tribute to our players. They've worked exceptionally hard in the weight room and also on the field.
Butch, go ahead.
You mentioned being back in Tampa. Does this area hold a special place for you because where you got your start back in the 80s?
Well, it does, because I owe everything to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because without the start down here, I probably wouldn't be standing here today as a head coach at the University of Tennessee. They gave me an opportunity to start as a ball boy and work my way up through the organization. And you look at Doug Graber, who gave me an opportunity, who was on staff here and went to Rutgers University, and that's where he hired me from. So just having that opportunity and always being a big Bucs fan as well, it's always great to come back here. But there's a lot of memories. I wish Old One Buck Place was still here. We actually took a wrong turn out of the FBO when we flew in here, and we were heading down where Old One Buck used to be, and I was kind of hoping to go by there, because every time when I come to Tampa, I always go by that area now. But I owe a lot to being down here.
John Adams, not
Butch, how do you balance managing an offense, providing input without meddling too much and letting an offensive coordinator do what he does?
Sure. Well, everything, I really believe in that you hire individuals to do their job. And, I want to be informed, and if there's something I feel I can help with, but I let them coach, I let them do what they do. The great thing is we're very like-minded in a lot of things. We share some similar philosophies, but also some things that we need to improve and get better on. But I think it's having faith and trust and confidence in individuals on their staff. That's why you hire them and you let them do a job. And it's my job just to oversee everything and help build a mentality, a culture, and make sure that we never lose sight of what's most important. That's fundamentals in the fine details of what it takes to play winning football. But, I love being in the meetings, and, the great thing with our coaching staff is we have no egos. It's all about getting better and challenging each other to get better. And it's not about whose idea it is, it's our ideas, and we talk about being all aligned. And, if we can do something better, that's what it's all about, is continuing to grow.
Thank you, everybody.